Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the Southwick Report. I hope you all are having a great evening right now, and we got some news to get into. Trump is going to be hosting Benjamin Netanyahu, who is coming to Washington to discuss the issue of the Iranian conflict that is going on in the Middle East, which it's getting a little infuriating right now. Trump is now saying that Iran is now a nuclear threat again, which is quite ironic because his administration said that they had no more nuclear capabilities anymore after Operation Midnight Hammer.
Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
Once again, another attack that wasn't congressionally approved. This is also coming in news that Iran was in the process of trying to negotiate a deal with the United States. Meanwhile, Trump is saying that they're not willing to make a deal. And the reason for that is because apparently Iran simply wants to negotiate the nuclear side of it, whereas the United States is not only trying to go for the nuclear side, they're trying to go after their ballistic missiles program and who they ally themselves with.
At the end of the day, the United States is prepared to engage and has always been prepared to engage with Iran. As far as the topic of those discussions and what the agenda needs to be, look, I think in order for talks to actually lead to something meaningful, they will have to include certain things. And that includes the range of their ballistic missiles. That includes their sponsorship of terrorist organizations across the region. That includes the nuclear program, and that includes the treatment of their own people.
Which are two completely different subjects from the nuclear program, and those are subjects that, quite frankly, shouldn't be any concern of us. To be honest, Israel shouldn't be a concern of us. They are not a great ally, but yet we're still putting them first right now. The president has already said on X that he is going to be sending the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is one of our aircraft carriers, and another fleet to the southern Iranian waters. And he's going to have them do essentially either a blockade or reconnaissance of the area. Here, I'm going to pull it up and double check. God, you're making me read Trump tweets. I really hate this. Okay, so it wasn't a tweet. It was a truth. It was from his Truth Social. But yeah, he essentially said, a massive armada is heading to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. It is a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln than that sent to Venezuela. Jesus Christ, this guy's English is weird. Like with Venezuela, it is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence, if necessary. Hopefully Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal. No nuclear weapons. One that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. As I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer. A major destruction of Iran. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make it happen again. There you go. Trump essentially just came out and said he's going to be doing a war with Iran. Because we already know the terms he set out are pretty much unattainable for Iran's sake. Why on earth would another country sign a deal that would basically limit or forbade who they can make alliances with? And of course, they're not going to lay down their arms either, because they've already seen from other countries that when you lay down your arms, Israel's just going to attack you. Israel has launched multiple attacks by themselves, starting these wars, not only to gain territory, but gain influence in the Middle East. Am I saying that the Arab nations are much better than Israel? No. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Israel is somehow the non-aggressor here. And I think the biggest problem is that they're receiving so much money from us that they are more inclined to do it. Take away the money. Make them fight on their own terms. Make them spend money on their own wars. Quit relying on us to do your bidding. And as for the massive armada, that's all well and good, but honestly, any form of land invasion or any form of regime change in Iran is probably not going to go well. Us being an empire, we can't send our full force of the military down there because we have them scattered across the globe. Maybe if we had brought our troops home, they would have had no issue with that. But America, for some reason, wants to continue its empire status, so we can't send our full force of the military down there. Meaning, Iran already has a numbers advantage against us. While I do understand Iran has attacked U.S. military bases in the Middle East, it's also because those military bases have been used to essentially poke at Iran and get them aggravated. If Iran was building military bases over in Cuba and using them to scout over the United States, we would get a little bit concerned about that as well. According to the evidence, their air force is completely outdated. Like, they're literally running off of, and I kid you not, F-4 Phantoms and F-86 Sabres. The F-4 Phantom was a plane from the Vietnam War. Oh my goodness, they even have F-14 Tomcats. Their air force is so outdated. They don't have the ability to gain air superiority. Their planes are too outdated, especially compared to Israeli planes. And that's partly because we give them some of our planes. There's no real reason to be concerned about Iran being a threat to the United States unless we make them one. Maybe at this point, non-interventionism should be considered. Maybe we pull our forces out of the Middle East, we bring our troops home, and we stop interfering with foreign policy. We come to the defense of ourselves. We don't need to keep coming to the defense of our allies. We don't need to get involved in their wars, and we don't need to constantly be meddling into the governments of countries that we don't agree with. We should ultimately go back to George Washington's standing of having a non-interventionist foreign policy. That is the best form of foreign policy out there, and it's the most useful. Or at the very least, go with Theodore Roosevelt's policy of speak softly and carry a big stick. Still maintain non-interventionism, but maintain a strong military for in case someone decides to fuck with our boats. Sorry, fuck with us in general. I don't know why I said fuck with our boats. That's never been a historical precedent whatsoever. You listen to my rant for today. Hopefully we don't go to war, but if we go to war, well, I guess I'll see you on the front lines then. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. See you all in the next episode.